Hi, welcome. My name is Alexa Lopez, and I am the podcast host of the Dance Research Podcast. Here on YouTube, I help young dancers just like you spark their dance careers. Please make sure that you subscribe, hitting the button down below so you can keep up with more videos that are helpful for you. So today we're gonna talk about self-care items that a lot of dancers may need in their lives. Self-care is something that we always talk about, and as a dancer, I feel like there's a lot more than we can do to take care of our bodies. Because we use our bodies in such a physical way, we're bound to run into very bumpy roads in our dance careers. So I'm going to talk about some items that I use personally to take care of my body when my body needs it. So number one is a foam roller. I think a foam roller is something that every dancer should have. There's lots and lots of kinds of foam rollers. There's different kinds, meaning the softness of it and the hardness of them are very different and are gonna achieve different things. Also, the thickness of the foam rollers. There's foam rollers that are really small. You can find them like this, and others that are kind of bigger and larger. So again, they're gonna serve different purposes for different things. There's also some rollers that are, I don't know if they're necessarily foam rollers, but they're made of different materials. But there's some kinds that have spiky kind of things on them, and those are really useful to really roll out your muscles. So I personally like to use foam rollers on the large areas in my body, such as my thighs, my calves, my back as well. Those things are the biggest kind of muscle groups, and it really helps to kind of loosen and relax your muscle and the fascia that is in there. So whenever you're really sore, feeling a little tight, a foam roller is really gonna come in handy for you. Another thing that's similar to a foam roller is a tennis ball. Again, there's so many types of tennis balls out there and different sizes as well. So every size, every kind of material of the ball, because there are specific balls that are specifically for like therapy. Again, they're gonna serve different purposes. Rule of thumb is the harder they are, or even like the smaller they are, the deeper they're gonna get into the muscles, and it's gonna hurt a little bit more, but it's going to do the most work. So definitely research what you need based on your body with both foam rollers and tennis balls, because you might be hurting yourself if you get something that's too tough on your body. And also search what are the differences between the foam rollers, the different kind of foam rollers, and the different kinds of tennis balls, so you can get the best for your buck. Another thing that I use that I find helpful are Epson salts. Whenever I feel so drained and my body is just bleh, from like being super sore to the core of my muscles, I hop into a hot tub with like hot water, and I pour in Epsom salts with a few drops of lavender oil. It's really gonna help. So I'm not too sure about the science of Epsom salts, but they help kind of like release tension in your muscles. So if you want to research more about Epsom salts, I really encourage you and what they actually like do to your muscles. But it's something that really helps my muscles kind of release that tension and the tightness of them too. And I also want to mention two things that are kind of obvious, but I feel like they really are super duper important for you to take care of yourself. So one of those things is eating nutritious food. Now, I'm not a nutritionist or a doctor, so I can't tell you what to eat. But you should eat stuff that is going to give you power, that's going to give you energy. You shouldn't eat food that's going to make you feel sluggish and kind of, So for me, I can't eat a lot of greasy type of food or like a lot of fried food, because that makes me feel sick and makes me feel like bloated in a way. So definitely when I have a lot of dancing to do, I'm not gonna eat any type of those stuff because I know it's gonna make me feel sick. Something that I do like to eat is protein, and specifically from an animal. Because when I don't eat protein, like meat and stuff, I feel like I lack energy and I feel so hungry like a couple hours after, and like I need that energy because it provides me that energy. Like I know what my body needs and doesn't need at the moment. So rule of thumb I feel when it comes to food is to experiment with different types of food and food groups. So and document kind of how you feel after eating each food. That way you kind of know, okay, if I eat this type of food, it's going to make me feel like this, and so on and so on. So it's kind of like a way for you to experiment for yourself and know what's good for you or not. And when in doubt, always go to a professional, go to a doctor, nutritionist to help you with dieting or anything that you may need. But I feel like us as dancers, we're allowed to eat anything, don't be scared to eat something that's sugary or something that is not healthy, because sometimes like we do need it. And I enjoy eating McDonald's from time to time, but I make sure that I don't eat it when I need to have a long rehearsal, because that's not gonna be super energy powered food. So always go to a professional for any help for that. But I would recommend to keep track of how you feel after each food to get started if you want to make a change for that. And the last thing that is super obvious is rest. Now, I believe that the recommended sleeping period is between 6 and 8 hours. This is such a privileged thing to have, because when I was at least in college, I was going to school from like 9-10 in the morning all the way to like 8 p.m. and that includes sometimes the days that I was fully on campus and some days that I was half the day on campus and half the day teaching and choreographing and doing other work. So my days were full, like packed. So sometimes I couldn't afford to sleep 8 hours. I had to sleep around 5 hours every day because I had to wake up early in the morning and to get ready to go to school and blah blah blah. But I would say, if you can afford to do that, please do. If you have a weekend where you can afford to wake up later in the day, don't feel guilty about doing that, because your body needs rest. Your body needs to heal, needs to re-energize for a full day of dancing. So yeah, those are my little tips of what you should have to implement a healthier lifestyle that works with dance. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that next week you can get notified on the new video, which is on dance work-life balance tips. So make sure that you keep on the lookout for that. All right, everyone, see you next week. Bye!